Welcome back, everyone. Today I have a updated Black Rob Lucci deck profile for you guys. This is an anti-meta deck updated for EB02 because I believe we're going to see a lot of green-purple just like how it was in Japan. But black has fundamentally changed because we lost great cards like Ice Age and the 8-cost Moria. So this deck is about $160, $180 to make. So it is a little bit more on the pricier side. We have been seeing a lot of decks, about 100 and less for a good while, but now we're coming into like the more expensive part of One Piece if you want to win tournaments. Like if you look at green, purple Luffy, it's going to be close to $500 to make. And then that's not to mention we have blue, purple Luffy coming in about a month, and that's going to be even more expensive because it plays a lot more secret rares and stuff. All right, so this is a going first or second deck, so it's very versatile, and you basically choose depending on what you play against. A lot of times, a lot of decks have like a certain preference if they always want to go first, always want to go second. This actually is a choose either or, depending on the type of deck you're playing against. So if you're going against a faster pace deck, you want to go first. If you're going against like a control deck, this, you would want to go second. All right, so let's get right into it. This is a card we haven't seen in a while. Moncherie, pay 1, rest this character, place 2 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. Add a black character with a cost of 3 to 5 from your trash to your hand. So the reason we play this is because this deck does have a ton of bricks, just like all the black decks previously have, but that's not really an issue because black destroys the board, and if they don't have anything to attack with, it's fine if we have bricks in our hand. But we do play this so we can reuse our Rebecca since we don't have like stuff like Gecko anymore, but we need to reuse our blockers. We need to re-add our counter back to our hand, so we do play 2 of these. Next, we have 4 Suru, of course, 2k counter, 1 cost if you need it for the 2 reduction. Now, here's a blocker we normally don't see, but people are now playing Nefertari Cobra. If you do go second, this is something you want to go ahead and set up on your first turn. But basically all it does is it's a blocker, and then on play, trash 1 card from the top of your deck. Next, we have 2 one-legged toy soldier, another 2k counter, and it's a trash reduce 3. Play it for this exact same reason that you play Suru for. Now, here is why the deck is kind of pricey. This card is still, $25, $30 a piece, being as good as it is, on play and when attacking, and it potentially KOs. So, of course, is good. I hope it gets reprinted in PRB02, which has been announced, but we don't know what exactly is in PRB02 yet. But this is a great control card, so we definitely need to have this. It's also a great Rebecca target, as usual. Speaking of Rebecca targets, this is another Rebecca target. So this way we don't have to choose between reducing or playing a blocker for the turn. We could play Rebecca, add something from trash, or this from trash and play it and reduce something by 4. It's even better if you already have a Brook set up so that you can play blocker, play this, which is a attackable character, and then attack with Brook and then pop something that's 5 or less. Next, we have this Kuzan. This is definitely a must-have now that we lost Ice Age and stuff. 1 for the draw, and then 2 for the when attacking -4. So if you go first or second, going against green-purple, for example, their Sanji Pudding is going to come out. That's going to be their important piece. You want to have this out, and then when they do play their Sanji Pudding, if they pump it up with Mary, it's going to be a 7. But if we go first and we drop this on 5, on our 5 Dawn turn, we drop this on 5, they counter back, they drop their Sanji Pudding because they need to set it up. They pump it up with Mary, thinking it's going to be safe. Then it comes back to our turn. It's going to be swing -4. Their Sanji Pudding will now be a 3, which, because we have 7 Dawn, we could play Jack and pop it because Jack pops at 3 or less. So this is a very key piece for that. Next, we have 4 Rebecca, of course, best blocker on play. Add a card, cost of 3 to 7. We could add Jack back, so this way we could toss Jack for stuff, and then still be able to add it back, and then play something with 3 or less from your hand. So that is very good. For Rob Lucci's, of course, now that, we are seeing a lot less black decks around, that is because, everyone's basically given up hope on it because they lost Ice Age and Moria. And because of that, we've seen red come back as a deck. So we've been seeing a lot of Zoros, we've been seeing Bello Bettys, which, you didn't really see in a higher tier play because of black, because black can get rid of all the baby bodies, especially with this card, just pop 2 cards for 1. Seems really good. But because of the emergence of that, this coming back will hard counter those decks. Next, we have for Who's Who. This is 2K counter, trigger KO one of your opponent's character with a cost 3 or more. And then this is an emergency thing if you go second. If you go second, so say you set up your Kuzan turn 2, your opponent then plays Sanji Pudding. Well, we don't, when it comes back to our turn, we're only going to be at 6 Dawn, and we don't have anything else to pop the Sanji Pudding if they pump it up to a 7, right? So this is something we could play because it does KO a 3 or less. So say we set up the Kuzan, we swing, bring it down to 3, emergency situation, play this, and of course it's fine for our discard because we play so many bricks, but a lot of our cards are recyclable, so it's fine if we toss a card here and there. So this is really nice for that reason. And then for Jacks, so I mentioned earlier why Jack is so important, but it does get a little bit of a protection because it's a +4 cost, making it 11, making it harder, especially in like a mirror match or other blacks that want to reduce your play cost. This is safely on the board because it is 11. But the other reason we play it is because of the cycle, the draw 1 and trash 1. We play a lot of bricks, like I said, so we do end up with stuff that we want to discard, possibly add back later, but we can discard it for the time being. So we want to get like 1, maybe 2 Jacks out on the board just to constantly cycle our hand till it gets better. Now, here is the new boss card, the 10 cost Kuzan. We really do want to set one of these up at least out. So of course we want to slow down our opponent. Don't give our opponents too many cards to work with. And then once we have dropped one of these out, like it is just easy control for just cruising for the rest of the game because of all your opponent's stuff gets -5. On play, it's kind of nice for, reducing KO something with a 0. If you swung with your leader, it will, get rid of a 6 cost. And if you already had a 4 cost Kuzan out, you can swing -4, swing -1, drop this out, it will pop a 10. So that's why this is so important to, mix with this. So we do play 4 of these. Now, because this was actually sitting at $2 for a little while, but because a lot of people are coming back to playing black, this actually has come back up to 10 because this is the replacement for Gecko Moria. Instead of, going defensive, we're just going harder control. Now, what is a great card to mix with 10 cost Kuzan is this Hot Tear Coacher Patchwork. I think that's how you say it. So this is a cheap 1 cost. This is a replacement for Ice Age, for the cheap replacement for a -3 cost during the turn. But later in the game, so this, you could use this early just for that -3, but later in the game, if your opponent manages to play multiple bodies that you can't get rid of for whatever reason, like for example, you don't have the Rob Lucci or something, it does have up to one of your opponent's character with a cost of 0 will not become active in the next refresh phase. If you have this out, your opponent's stuff is blanket -5, so you playing this could potentially reduce something and stun something, which is really nice. So we play it at 3. And because we play a lot of bricks, and I don't really have much more room to play more than 1, but I do play 1 6 King pistol. This is the trash one at 3K. So basically making, this plus another card. One of them would become a 2K, one of them would become a 1K basically. And finally, we have Tempest Kick. Now, I do want to give a warning about Tempest Kick because you see we don't have any other mill cards. We don't have searchers to really cycle through. You know, we used to play a lot of brand news, a lot of Spondum to make sure this is always active immediately. That's not the case here. So if you did need it, right, and you have nothing else to play, just go ahead and ditch this into the trash for just the draw one. Don't worry about the -3. I hate doing that personally, but because of how many bricks this deck does have, if you just end up holding it in hand, you're going to end up dying before you even, you know, get a chance to build up 10 to use it, simply because we don't have that many mill cards, or we don't have any mill cards other than like Nefertari Cobra. So if we desperately need it, just do it, ditch it for the draw. We have tons of other reduction cards, so we'll use those instead and just go ahead and get this out of your hand. Think of it as, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, think of it as like an upstart goblin that you play for one. So with that, I have been doing a little bit of testing. It is doing pretty good against the green-purple match. I've played against 2 other players with it, and it has a pretty high win rate. So I'll do a couple match with that just to show you guys how it works. So look forward to that. Leave a comment for what you want to see next. I am working on green purple. It's just very expensive, and I actually do still have, you know, 2 more boxes right here that I'm hoping to pull some more stuff to use for the deck. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.